So when I spawned this one in, my immediate reaction was just, oh. Because I'm pretty sure this has not been enabled in the game. I'm pretty sure this is something that we have not really seen being used before, the big kaiju gun. So what's going on, champs and chambits? It's FireMonkey here, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about in today's YouTube video. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy, because we'll be going through the wonderful world of scrapped, upcoming, and weird, rare items that Epic Games has been working on for the current season, past seasons, and more, starting off with Chapter 7 Season 2 Showdown, the season we're currently in with a rivalry board. We have two different weapons right here, the Belly Blaster Shotgun and the Scatter Shot Crossbow. The Belly Blaster Shotgun, believe it or not, is already enabled in game. Of course, you can see it's using an older model right here, and if we go ahead and shoot this wall, it breaks it down from 450 to 413. Now, it's a little bit interesting to see it do that right there, because if we shoot this wall over here, you know, it does a lot of like different damage. This wall went to 395, this wall went to 444. It is very inconsistent, so let's go ahead, go right up to the wall, aim and shoot it. And that actually brings it down to 388. And then if we go ahead and go a little bit further away, all these walls have kind of already been shot at, so I guess we'll just do this tree, or actually that tree over there. We'll go ahead and shoot it. I don't even think that actually did any damage, but we'll go ahead and run over here and find out. Oh, it actually did. It did like 43 damage. Huh. Alright, it's very inconsistent with how it's shooting. Maybe it's because of like the pedal spread or something like that, but it is still something you're able to use. And you might be wondering, if this was already enabled in the game, what's it called? Well, the Belly Blaster Shotgun is actually the Obliterator's Shotgun that you're able to use in game right now, which is the Dark Voyager's Obliterator. That's the full name. This was just a placeholder version of that shotgun before they actually ended up changing the name, having all the textures and everything. So it has kind of like the same functionality, it has the same idea going on with it, and it has an earlier name before it was called the Obliterator, but it's something that they went ahead and, you know, had a prototype version of, so I thought I would show you it. However, this next item has not been released as of yet, and it's called the Scatter Shot Crossbow. Now, in the files, this is also known as the Ice Crossbow, and what it is, since we won't be able to fully show it off here, is it's a shotgun-like explosive projectile that activates at 100 meters. Now, if I go ahead and try shooting it like normal, you can notice that you can't really tell anything. It doesn't matter where I shoot it, no projectile actually lands anywhere. And if we try shooting like this wall or something, it literally does nothing because no bullets actually fire out of this. But how this would work is whenever you shoot it, whenever it like lands on something, or whenever it's 100 meters away from where you currently are, the projectile is going to explode and split into different shrapnel pieces of ice. So maybe like 6 ice pieces or something like that, you know, 6, 7, 8. I don't really know how many it would actually spread off into, because that file data isn't really there right now. And then those individual pieces would end up exploding as well, allowing for a massive explosion that could deal damage to builds, players. So like if you shoot it, like let's say that's a build or something, you shoot it above that and then it explodes, shoots downwards into their build, deal some damage around there. Think about it like, I guess you would say a bouncing Betty in a way. I'm not really sure if that's the best example, but both of these items were planned for the current season, one of which is already enabled, and the other one will be enabled a little bit later on. So I thought I would show those off first because this is new content, and of course, since it's an ice crossbow, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like an Act 2 unlock reward or something for the Ice King. Next up, however, it's time to talk about Chapter 7 Season 1, the season right before the one we're currently in, and we have 3 different items to show you. We have the Chapter 7 Season 1 Burst Assault Rifle, which shoots in bursts of 3 bullets, and you can see like a placeholder icon. We have ourselves the Baked Potato Pump Shotgun, which is a single-fire shotgun that deals high damage at the cost of a range and clip size. And then we have ourselves the Baked Potato Auto Shotgun with a placeholder description. Literally no description go off of here. You can see the damage right there for this one is 19, this one's 151, and this one's 70, so we have a few decent items to go ahead and showcase here. So here's the Chapter 7 Season 1 Burst Assault Rifle. We'll use this tree as like a victim. So let's go ahead and shoot it once. Okay, you can, wait. Okay, that was it's a little weird seeing the like gun model glitch backwards, but you can see with one shot it did that much damage. If we go ahead and hold this down, you can see it basically lasers. Like honestly, I think this is better than any weapon we've actually caught in Chapter 7 Season 1 that had this like burst potential to it, just because of the fact that it honestly just seems way too good for what it's supposed to actually resemble. But next up we have ourselves the Baked Potato Pump Shotgun. Shoot it once, you can see how much damage it does. Has a pretty fast rate of when it actually goes ahead and, you know, resets. If we move backwards, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be doing a little bit less and less damage, as you can see right there. Like if we start shooting the roof over there, oh yeah, you can see it's gonna take a minute to actually destroy that. It still seems pretty effective at long range, you know. Okay, yep, we found the limit right there, or maybe not. I think it's actually damaging that roof. Okay, it is. You can see it has a pretty interesting range to it, but it is something that is unfinished. That one's unfinished as well. And then we have right here the double shotgun, the dual weld shotgun, also known as the auto shotgun with placeholder description. It has just pump labeled on both of the actual shotguns right there, so it's interesting to see if this was the original model or not. I kind of forgot to go ahead and shoot it. You can see how it actually shoots right there. Honestly, that's a lot worse than this other shotgun. That's a lot worse than the baked potato pump shotgun right here. But at the same time, you know, it's cool to see how the interesting versions of it were. You know, it had like a placeholder. Well, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting it to have that icon. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense of why it's being held like this. So it's not actually being held like a shotgun because technically it's not a shotgun that they're using, even though it takes shotgun ammo and it has all the shotgun stats and everything. So that's a little bit interesting to actually see. And of course, as we go through this, we'll have exotics and other gimmicky items that weren't for a specific season to show a little bit later. So let's dive down to Chapter 6. This is the area we're going to have a lot of items to actually showcase, so we actually have two more other than the ones in my hotbar right now to showcase to you guys. But we have the HMG, which is a heavy machine gun that deals 5 damage with like pretty good fire rate and magazine size. We have ourselves a fast-firing dragon drum shotgun. We have ourselves the tactical slug shotgun, which fires a single slug for increased effectiveness at longer ranges than a typical shotgun. We have the laser-guided rocket launcher, which fires a swarm of missile and use the laser okay. It fires a swarm of missiles and uses a laser designator to guide them to your target. And then we have the Inky pistol. And then after that, we have an EMP gun and a new crossbow. So let's go ahead and start this off with the HMG. Yep, it's basically just an LMG, right? I think we can go over here to like, by the way, guys, I know it lags sometimes. I'm sorry for that. But if we go up here. Oh. Yeah, and the fact that this has like 20 bullets in a mag. So after, you know, you shoot 20 in a clip or a mag or whatever, you have to reload. Ooh, that is definitely a little rough on the edges. Now, if we shoot this, it's supposed to be a dragon drum shotgun, so it's supposed to, I think, have an actual, like, fire effect, but the early version of it didn't actually have the effect that catches things on fire, so it just kind of, you know, just deals some decent damage, nothing too crazy about it. We have the tactical slug shotgun. This is the thing that shoots literally a single, well, it's supposed to shoot a single slug, or maybe it is. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm a little bit wrong here, but when you're aimed in, you can see that it just shoots in that one specific spot. When you're aimed out, it kind of like spreads a little bit. So that is interesting to see at the very least. You can see the spread right there, and then we aim in. There it gets rid of the spread entirely. So that's a pretty cool one to see. Next up, we have our... I dropped the wrong weapon, apparently. Wait. Did I? Or... Oh God, hold on. All right, I'm not for sure what happened there, but the next item we actually had was the laser-guided rocket launcher. Where's it trying to take me? It's like trying to take me down that way. I don't think that's where I want the laser to go. Okay, so let's see here. So we can fire it and then we can guide it. Oh. I might be stuck here. Help. I'm stuck here. I can't guide it anymore. I don't know what actually happened, so that's a little buggy. Can we drop it on the ground? Oh, no. Oh no. Well, this was supposed to be the Swarm Strike launcher from the previous season. As you can see, this was like a test version. A little weird to see that it's kind of just broken right now, so give me a second to fix that. All right, here we are back on a little bit of a different map. This is like a test map they've been doing for their upcoming Team Deathmatch mode. Maybe we'll go ahead and talk about that in an upcoming video. But we have the Inky pistol, the EMP pistol, and the Bug Hunter dualies to go ahead and showcase next. So first off, here's the Inky pistol. Oh, wait, we actually have, like, a limited amount of ammo. Oh, no. But if we shoot the EMP pistol, both of which are kind of buggy because, of course, you know, private server stuff. But if we shoot the Bug Hunter dualies as well, oh, those actually shoot. All right. So you can see it has a pretty slow fire rate, but, you know, overall, it's a pretty decent weapon. The Inky pistol, for those who are wondering, is just kind of that same placeholder icon. If we hover over it, it's a single slot projectile, which when fired into the air, reveals enemies. So it's kind of like a normal flare. So I'm not really for sure what they were intending with that one entirely. This one over here, wait, they both have the exact same description. All right, so this one, the EMP pistol, would go ahead and EMP enemies, of course. And then I'm not really too for sure what the Inky pistol would do. I saw that code name a few times. I don't know why the... Oh no. I'm trapped with the Inky pistol in my hand. But I saw that codename a few times, and I'm not really for sure what it ended up becoming, but it is something that they were working on for Chapter 6, Season 4. So overall, pretty cool weapons to actually see, but now it's time to jump over to Chapter 6, Season 2, where we have a lot more to showcase to you guys. All right, here we are in Chapter 6, Season 2, where we have the first set of weapons. We have the dynamite launcher right here, which that definitely doesn't match the icon. I mean, oh, wait, can you see the dynamite? Oh, the dynamite's actually on the gun. You can literally see it right there at the front of the barrel. Okay, so if we shoot it, yeah, I think it's a little broken, but you could think that here, yeah, it would just literally shoot out that stick of dynamite outwards, and you'll be able to use it that way. So that's a little interesting to see. What's the icon look like on the ground? Oh, all right, that looks pretty normal, actually. I don't know what I expected there. We have the Gambler Shotgun, also known as the Slot Gun Shotgun right here, which has a description of a break-action shotgun. Deals high damage at a fast fire rate with short range and very limited magazine size. So you can see there's a lot of like reusing the same words over and over. But overall, you know, it seems like a pretty decent shotgun. I just lost another shotgun by doing that. I need to stop dropping them on the ground as I showcase it, so we'll grab that one back in a second. We have ourselves the Lawless Gas Action Sniper Rifle with no working scope, and then we have the Bolt Action version of the Sniper Rifle. If we shoot it, you know, you can see it has an interesting way of shooting bullets, actually. If you look, we have 7, then it goes down to 4, then it goes down to 1, and then it just shoots 1. And then we have the Lawless Gas Action Sniper Rifle. Now, how this would work is wherever you actually ended up shooting, it would actually explode into a gas cloud. You guys have kind of seen that gimmick because I think these were already enabled during that season, but it's cool to see the actual in-progress versions of the weapons. You see, this one would do 25 damage, same with this one. They had the exact same stats. It was just the way they actually functioned was a little bit different, but on the ground, it does actually have the, like, camo on it. So they did actually have some progress put into it. Now, if we pick it back up, it doesn't actually get the camo, sadly, but it's cool to see that at least on the ground, it has that camo actually equipped. So let's go ahead and grab the next wave of Chapter 6 Season 2 items. All right, here we are back at it again. Now, as you guys notice, we had this normal Gambler Shotgun earlier, and the work in progress one we had right here was in another version of the Lawless Gambler Shotgun that was a little unfinished. You can see this one actually only does 21 damage, but it has a fast fire rate. Oh! Yeah, that has a fast fire rate. Okay. It is still like a single bullet, though. It's like a single pellet, however you actually say it. But it still actually looks like a pretty interestingly firing one. So that is one of the ones that were actually a work in progress version. We have the Lawless Hop Rock SMG. Of course, you would shoot this one. It would give you the Hop Rock effect. Now, it looks like Hop Rocks actually do a pretty big jump boost over here. I'm not for sure if that's just because, like, I wonder, okay, I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky with that one. Oh, nope, we're going pretty high with this. So that is one of the original versions of the SMG. Of course, you can see it only really had like 3 shots before you had to reload. Magazine size of 3, dealt 31 damage per shot, fire rate of 2.57, reload time of 2.25. And it's pretty much the same thing here, except the rare version of the SMG doesn't do the Hop Rock effect, still has a magazine size of 3, does a little bit less damage with a higher reload time. So if we go ahead and shoot that one, yeah, you can see that one's a very disappointing weapon. Imagine if this was the submachine gun we got during that season. We have ourselves the Lawless Blizzard Barrel Shotgun. Now, this one doesn't even have sound, but how this would work would be an exotic one where it would actually give you like the icy feet effect, or actually no, it would give whoever you shot the icy feet effect, and it would have itself just a few different gimmicks, you know, 121 damage, so that was pretty powerful. And nothing really too crazy going on with it. And of course, since it's, you know, a prototype version, the ammo counters and stuff was all buggy. Then we had the Lawless Triad Assault Rifle, which if you've actually played this season, you know how this worked. It basically shot in like this triad, like 3-shot format. So whenever you would shoot, it actually wouldn't be like this. It would shoot 3 bullets, of course, but it would actually shoot based on like the little line upwards, the line to the left and right, in order to literally shoot 3 bullets at the same time towards wherever your center target was. But of course, the early version of it didn't actually have the gimmick in place. It just kind of had the crosshair enabled on it. And if we drop these items on the ground, you can see that we have the actual like texture for the Lawless items going on basically all of these prototype versions, so that they actually have kind of the hue shifting thing happening as well. And then for our final 2 items of Chapter 6 Season 2, we have the Icy Assault Rifle and we have the CQB Assault Rifle. Now, if you don't know what CQB stands for, it's Close Quarter Combat, or actually Close Quarters Battle, I guess you would say. CQC would be Close Quarter Combat. But both of these are brand new weapons that were worked on for Chapter 6 Season 2. They don't have a description at all, but you can see they have pretty good damage. The Icy Assault Rifle doing 154 damage per shot, even though it doesn't have that much of a magazine size. And then this one doing 140. So we go ahead and use the Icy Assault Rifle. You can... Oh. Okay, yeah, that's kind of... Wait. Why is it shooting up there? You guys saw that, right? Hold on. If I aim straight down, the bullet like goes upwards. Does that happen with this as well? Okay, it does. Both of these were very early versions of those weapons, and you can see whenever you swap to it after shooting a shot, it actually has a cooldown on it, which I don't think other weapons of the same type, except like shotguns, have this exact same cooldown. And then we drop it on the ground, you can actually see that it has the same little like lawless effect going on with a normal one for comparison. Nothing too crazy going there, but it definitely is interesting to see these early on versions of those items. Next up, we're taking a slight detour over into Reload for the Gatekeeper Revolver right here. Now we go ahead and put out the description. It has a very long one saying special, absurdly fast firing rate pistol with a large magazine that dishes out ridiculous damage at its short to mid range, offset by poor accuracy, extreme ammo consumption, and a brief spin up time before firing, which, believe it or not, none of that was needed at all, because this is just copy and pasted from the description of a Save the World SMG. Does 72 damage per shot with a magazine size of 5, a fire rate of 1.45, and a reload time of 3. And as you can see right here, if we shoot it, it's all right. I mean, like, you know, it's there, but at the same time, I don't really see this as a weapon that people would go ahead and use too often. You know, it definitely, for the damage, right? 72. It makes sense for a revolver, but for Reload specifically, I wonder what would have made this special. Like, I know Gatekeeper is something that I think has been mentioned before over in Fortnite, but at the same time, it's just something that just feels off to me. But, you know, it's one of the new weapons that were in the game files that was originally planned for Reload, so I thought I would show it off now that we're going into the more vague territory of items. Next up, we have a lot of exotics to talk about here, and this is just the first wave of the ones to showcase. So this one has a very beautiful sniper icon. It has the description of exotic heavy impact sniper rifle that briefly reveals the area around your shots. This one is actually enabled in the... What is this sniper icon? Wait. I don't know what sniper model this is using, to be completely honest here, but this one, you know, just kind of is a one-shot weapon, nothing too crazy, but if you've used it in the current Fortnite season through the rivalry board, you know how this works. You basically shoot it on the ground somewhere, and then like a bubble will appear outwards that pings everyone in that nearby radius when you actually shoot there. Next up, however, we have the Lawless Refund Sniper. If we go ahead and pull out the description, it says gives you some ammo back when hitting targets, so if we go ahead and shoot it normally, you can see it kind of has like a hunting rifle shot and a long wait before you can actually shoot the next one. This is as fast as it shoots. Like, I am spamming the button right now. That is very slow. But if you were actually to shoot someone and hit them with this gun, it would have a chance of giving you that ammo back whenever you did that, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have the Veiled Tracker SMG with description of fully automatic scoped and suppressed SMG with low gravity effect added. If we go ahead and shoot it, it doesn't actually give us a low gravity effect. That sucks a little bit, but also it looks like it's supposed to be powered or something. You may notice that, like, look, it has a little like diamond icon and a 0% thing. So it's almost like they were testing limited only like items that would track enemies or something. Like, you know, exotics that would go ahead and work, like the blink shotgun, for example. See, does it actually give us the blink effect? It does not, but oh, that fire rate. But using stuff that would give you low gravity, like for example, that SMG I think is over here, right? You know, this one right here, the Lawless Hop Rock SMG, having that, but giving it a durability, so once it goes to 0, it's just a normal gun. Maybe that's something they were testing here? I'm not entirely too for sure, because they've never actually used that in game, but it does have the bar on it, so it would make sense. Now, of course, you already saw the other one. The exotic effect doesn't work with it, but it has a description of exotic blink pump shotgun that grants 0-point dash while double jumping for a few seconds after reloading. Oh, after reloading. Yeah, hold on. I might have to go give myself some ammo. And yeah, actually, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, and I'd rather not, like, find out for 5 hours just to show you guys that. But, of course, very, very fast fire rate, so pretty cool to actually see. And then we got the Flare Strike. Now, if you look at the description, it's a single-shot projectile. When fired into the air, the flares reveal enemies. Of course, you know, it's that broken description, but how it would actually work is that this is the early version of the airstrike gun we had before. So you can shoot it on the ground, and then the airstrike would come down to the area where you've actually shot. Now, let's see. If we drop all of these on the ground, and hopefully... That has a pistol, like, wait. Lawless Refund Sniper. Okay, the Refund Sniper was apparently a pistol, and you can see the original version of the Tracker Sniper actually had the scope on it. So, some very buggy early versions of everything overall, but that isn't even it when it comes to exotics. Next up, we have Wave 2 of unreleased/scrapped items, or things that ended up releasing that had beta forms, with the Lawless Night Falcon Assault Rifle. the exotic unstable blink shotgun, which I think we kind of just talked about a blink shotgun just literally a moment ago, but this one seems to be a different ID of it. We have ourselves the dual wrecker revolvers, which has a description of fully automatic dual SMGs fired at a very high rate while consuming a lot of ammo. Damage drops significantly at long distances, or substantially, but you can see it only has a damage of 8, so it's already kind of rough. Exotic unstable blink pistol, and then bouncing stink bombs. First off, here is the Lawless Night Falcon assault rifle. Doesn't really seem like much is going on. It has a cool little sound for the ammo and everything though, but nothing too crazy there. You can see that in the image. It actually has a scope, but in this one the scope's taken off. Exotic unstable blink shotgun, which is a little bit different from the fast firing one we had before. So this one's like a slower firing one they were testing, where when you would reload, it would go ahead and give you the blink effect. We have ourselves the dual wrecker revolvers. Oh, okay. I don't know about firing at a very high rate while consuming a lot of ammo. Hold on. We shoot at 22, 19, 16, 13. So it shoots like, hold on. Is it even shooting 3 shots? I can't tell. That is very weird. But also has like no damage whatsoever as well. So of course it's like a test version. Exotic unstable blink pistol. Honestly, for a pistol, not that bad. Not that bad for like the actual shooting speed. 29 damage per shot. You know, this looks like a decent weapon. Of course, it'd have the reload effect, so when you reload, you'd be able to dash forwards for a little bit. And then we have the bouncing stink bombs. So if we throw this out a little bit, it's gonna lag, but you can see every single spot that stink bomb actually lands on becomes a stink cloud. Now, the stink cloud doesn't last too long, and I think if we actually go ahead and stand in one of it, it will damage us. Maybe not. All right. But you can see that it's basically just something that's going to bounce around a little bit, leave a stink cloud in random directions. It's going to be a little unpredictable, unstable grenade, as you can see right there. But it will do 40 damage whenever you get hit by the stink cloud. And then we go ahead and start dropping these on the ground. Let's see, some of them might glitch out, but we can go ahead and see some of the icons. So for example, there's the scope on that one that we just mentioned. Here is that blink shotgun that we mentioned was unfinished. And then the blink shotgun again because it glitched. And then the dual wrecker revolvers right here, which doesn't have the, okay, it does have the wrap on it. I was curious if it did or not because the like shine just looked normal. But as you can see, they're all kind of just like blue right now, except for that one which just started wait. Is the shotgun in this not animated when it comes to the actual wrap? Is it just like a still image of it? Or maybe it's just the exotic glow and it's not actually a wrap at all enabled on it. Because like this one you can see it has the wrap on it, but these two just look pretty normal. All right, but we have to talk about even more items, so let me go ahead and grab the next set. So when I spawned this one in, my immediate reaction was just, oh. Because I'm pretty sure this has not been enabled in the game. I'm pretty sure this is something that we have not really seen being used before, the big kaiju gun. So just seeing a giant black cylinder with an LMG underneath it was a little unexpected. So let's go ahead and, you know, for example here, show off the exotic unstable SMG first. Description, it has applies low gravity after some shots fired. Oh, okay. So it's like you don't get low gravity right away. You get it when you're like halfway through. So let's go ahead and wait for the low gravity to go away. Okay, so you get it after like 4 shots. I wonder if it goes away then if we shoot another like 4 shots or something, if it gives us it back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 shots. So we have 14. We minus 8 from that. We should have it around here. Yeah, okay. So it literally is just something that gives you a little bit of a blink, or I guess not blink, but hop rock effect a little bit later on. But then we got the big kaiju gun. Oh no. Okay, hold on. I'm charging it up. Oh, wait, you can see it like charging up at the front there. That is weird. And then we shoot it. Huh. So this was a test version for the 7 cannon we got this season. You can see what it looks like right there. And then we can shoot it normally and it has slow shots like that. What is the damage on it? Charge it up to fire a single powerful shot. Great for dealing with enemies behind walls. Damage of 77, magazine size of 10. And then these all have the same description as well. So next up we have ourselves the 7 cannon, which we can also charge up? Maybe? Oh, it has like no sound whatsoever. But you can see, like, you shoot it normally, and it doesn't really have... Oh, it does have a beam. And then you can charge it up a little bit, and it has that effect. And then we got the 7 rifle again. Charge this one up. Oh. It auto-fires after being charged up a certain amount of time. So we go ahead and charge it at the ground, for example. You can see that auto-fired without me letting go. And then if I go ahead and just, like... Oh, yeah, we have to go back. If I just tap it, it will charge up and then auto shoot like that. So that's kind of the old gun anyways. If we drop these on the ground, okay, those just both look like normal cannons. And then we drop this, the big kaiju gun, okay, it just looks like an LMG. Exotic unstable SMG just looks like that, except it has a suppressor and a scope at the front of it. But it's very interesting seeing the big kaiju gun. I was not expecting this. I wasn't even expecting it to have like a charge up animation at the front there, but it does. So this is the early version of the Foundation's like Rift rifle from this season. And I think that's actually very cool to see. You know, it's just, I wasn't expecting this in the game at all. So let me go ahead and see if there's any other weapons for me to go ahead and grab for us real quickly. All right, so we have 2 more items, and that appears like it's it in terms of the scrapped items from previous seasons or whatever. We have ourselves the ammo pack right here, which is a Cybertron weapon that is more than meets the eye. If we go ahead and use it, oh, wait. Oh, hold on. It's because I have this equipped. Yeah, so we also have the, like, visor scanner thing on, and for some reason it equipped itself in my actual pickaxe slot, but this is the normal, you know, like, find a nearby enemies weapon that we had in a previous season. Kind of cool to see. Now, when it comes to the actual ammo pack, I'm unable to actually use it, which kind of sucks. You know, I'm not really for sure why it doesn't really let me use it, though we can drop it on the ground right there. We can see what it looks like. We can go ahead and pick it. Wait, when I drop it, did that just refresh my... Oh, it's giving me ammo. You guys can see that right there. Yeah, look, if we pick it up again, it gave me more ammo. That's literally what it does. It just gives you ammo whenever you actually grab it. So if we go over here, let's find that one weapon that was like a reload weapon real quickly. Let's see if we can find that through the crowd of weapons I've dropped on the ground here, because we should be able to actually see the blink effect when we go to it. Was it one of the pistols? No, it wasn't. Over here, let's see, Gatekeeper revolver. So now we can actually reload this. So if we go ahead and reload it, you can see what the reload animation looks like right there. So it's cool that the ammo pack actually gives us ammo to use this stuff. So here's the unstable blink shotgun that we talked about before. We'll go ahead and get the ammo down real quickly, and then when we reload it, it didn't give me the blink effect at all. Now I'm a little disappointed. Maybe if we get rid of all the shots and then reload it then? Let's see. Oh, okay. It just, that was an instant reload, but it didn't actually give us what we wanted. So that's a little weird. Maybe it's a bit broken, or, you know, it's like a little bit of a private server issue or whatever. But it is at the very least cool to see that we had an ammo pack that literally just, when it was on your back, gave you ammo. And then we, of course, have this scan nearby enemy system where you're able to actually use it. I'm not for sure why it went in my pickaxe slot, but it did. And it's something that was an earlier version of what we had before. So maybe they were testing when you had this, you just didn't have a pickaxe at all or something. But if you watch this far into the video, we do have a few bonus items to showcase here. So this one is actually meant for this season, and it's called the Bouncing Boomstick, which says light the fuse and wait for some chaotic explosions. So let me go ahead and throw that real quickly, and let's see how it works. All right, it explodes, and hey, oh, don't come towards me. Don't come towards me. It explodes and then just keeps bouncing. It seems like it bounces like 4 or 5 times before it just kind of gives up. You can see it right there. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, like it seems like it double exploded like twice there, so that might be 6. You know what, let's go out here more in an open area, see if it actually helps it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 6 explosions. Oh, it almost did 7, and then it like cut off there. So it's 6 explosions, and then it kind of goes away. So that's one of the items that should be releasing later on during this season, because it's under the codename of Tea Cake, which is the season codename we're currently in. And this next one's going to be a little interesting. This is a dual contract. This is the item that you pick up whenever you're like someone you have a rivalry on gets eliminated and you have to go ahead and hold E on it. This is technically what you're picking up. Has a description to settle your beef with opponents in your match by starting a duel. If we go ahead and try clicking it, we can't really do anything, but we can throw it on the ground and, oh, it just kind of looks like a normal pirate map. So you can see this was like the early test version for the dual contracts, but it would have been cool if you were able to get like dual contracts, like rivalries that were able to start while just somewhere else on the map, right? You know, you open up a chest, this pops on out of it, you pick it up and you're like, oh, hey, a dual contract. And then you would just be able to start it right there and find someone nearby to actually rivalry against, even if it was something that, you know, you weren't even right next to like a rivalry board to go ahead and mess with. Next up, however, we have ourselves the Boom Mites right here, which bounces and explodes multiple times. So it's kind of like the other one, but it's an earlier version. This one actually didn't explode right away. Maybe it just bounces? I don't know if I want to be near that. Yeah, okay, so this was an earlier version of that Boom Mite we actually talked about. This one literally just bounces and then lays on the ground a little bit. So we can just pop a few of these down. Won't actually damage you or anything. We can stand right in it, but if it was to do damage, it would actually do 40 damage to you. And then it just kind of disappears. So a little bit of an early test version that's a little interesting to actually see them mess around with, but regardless, kind of cool to show you guys. And then for the final set of items to actually show you guys, we have ourselves a Chapter 7 Season 2 T-Cake Core Assault Rifle, and also known as the DPS Assault Rifle, which is a fast-firing, close-range assault rifle planned for the current season. And that's it. That's I mean, you know, there isn't really too much in terms of like the interesting bits and pieces of it, but it is planned for this season, so I'm not for sure if this ended up becoming a weapon we already got in the game or something, but if not, there's your look at one of the upcoming weapons for the season. Next up, we have some older weapons that were kind of re-added to the files. We have the Brute Nemesis Assault Rifle right here. If we reload it, nothing really that crazy going on with it. We have ourselves Totally Peter's Ranger Pistol, which is for Peter Griffin from that actual season. You can see that, wait, whoa. You can see right here, we have like 43 damage, 27 magazine size. Here, it's like 29 damage, 0 crit hit chance, 0 crit hit damage, 58 headshot damage. This looks like something you would see over in Save the World. Ammo cost, durability, all that stuff. Yeah, this is like a Save the World stat sheet. I wasn't expecting that, but if we go ahead and shoot it, it's completely silent. There's no like sound to it at all. Let me go ahead and pick up an ammo pack real quickly here. I don't think I can get rid of the Gatekeeper revolver. It just brings out more revolvers. Send help, please. So no. But Totally Peter's Ranger Pistol is definitely one of the interesting weapons that were actually kind of unfinished. And then for the final thing, we have the Apex Thunder Burst SMG. Now you can hear what it sounds like right there. Sounds pretty good. And then we have the normal reload and everything right there. Nothing really too crazy to talk about with this one. But I hope you champs and champions enjoyed this like half an hour long deep dive into a lot of scrapped, unreleased, or upcoming items coming in Chapter 7 Season 2 or were planned for previous seasons. If you did, consider subscribing to support the content I create, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload. We'll be talking a little bit more in depth about this map right here and all the interesting things going on. Because believe it or not, I didn't make this. This is an Epic Games made map, meaning if we run over here, that right there, the random Bulls jersey, that was placed there by Epic Games. Same with the jersey over there, same with the jersey over there. So there's some interesting things going on. So I'll catch you champs and champions tomorrow with that upload. Until then, however, peace out.